Welcome to the Hook Exhibit, where we get to share and express songs, hooks, and lyrics based on our experience that just do it for us. Whether it's pop, rap, country, or rock and roll, it doesn't matter because here there are no strangers, just friends we haven't met yet. And the show goes a little something like this. I'm going to share and express my go-to songs based off my personal experiences. And then we're going to have special guests on the show, and they're going to share and express their go-to songs, hooks, and lyrics based on their personal experiences. To give you a quick example, one of my favorite go-to workout songs is Breathe by Prodigy from their album, That of the Land. Take a listen. In 1996, when this album was released, right around that time, I had entered a tough man competition. It was 3 one-minute rounds of boxing with headgear and a little bit extra padding, gloves, and what the pros wear. Just something for me to experience. And when I first heard this song, it just got my blood flowing. With its combination of heavy metal and techno, it helped me get into battle mode. Which, by the way, I made it all the way to the semifinals in this tournament style of competition. So there you have it. That's a quick example of what the Hook Exhibit is about. Now, our first category is hope. And it's only fitting, I believe it's only fitting because of what we are in the world dealing with today with this coronavirus pandemic. And I asked quite a few people, what is your go-to song or hook for hope? And the majority came back and they said, We Are the World, which was a huge collaboration of artists, USA for Africa, released in 1985. And it's a great choice considering with what we have going on today. Now, my go-to song, hook, for hope is Let It Be by arguably one of the best bands ever, and that are the Beatles, which was released in 1968. Take a listen. In 2004, I lost my restaurant. And a little bit of background, prior to that, I used to have 3 other smaller pizzeria sandwich shops. And I did fairly well. I sold them all, put all my eggs in one basket in 2002. And for 2 years, this much larger restaurant just made me alive. My house almost got foreclosed upon. I lost over $600,000. Both of my cars got repossessed within 15 minutes of each other from 2 different locations. No bullshit. I was mentally broken. I was at a very, very dark place. And up until that moment in my life, I'd never taken a loss. I've taken losses, of course, but not a loss of that magnitude. So about a week after we closed up, and I'm not wasn't a huge Beatles fan, but this song, Let It Be, came on quite a few times within a day or so. And I just started absorbing it even more. And the hook, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. That really sank into me. For me, it was, I almost lost everything with the restaurant. My family and friends really rallied around me and supported us, telling us, hey, everything's going to be okay. You can move on. And that inspired me to get back up on my feet. And a day or so later, I was out delivering newspapers early in the morning to put food on my table. And, that song, along with what my personal experience going on, gave me that hope and that inspiration to get up and do what I got to do for my family. So there you see that's a more in-depth, in-detailed experience of one of my go-to songs, in this case for hope, which is Let It Be by the Beatles. And I do hope in today's world that we all have strength to, we all in our families have strength to overcome this pandemic that we've come across. So as mentioned, we will be talking with special guests on the show. And our first special guest today is, he's an awesome dude, really awesome dude. He's one of my best friends. He's a police officer in the Philadelphia Police Department on the bomb squad. He is also an extremely talented actor. And most importantly, he is an awesome human being. Let's welcome Danny Plaza. Danny, how are you, my brother?
My brother, thank you so much for having me on, man. It's exciting.
Oh, my
I'm
pleasure.
a little nervous.
Nah, nothing to be nervous about, man. How's everything on the streets out there with what's going on?
Oh, man. Well, it's really surreal. Now, I'm in the bomb squad, so we're not really first responders anymore. Right. But we're out there on the street, and it's like every apocalyptic movie you've ever seen. There's like no traffic, no people. Wow. It's like driving around a wasteland. It's bizarre, to be quite honest with you.
I can imagine it. I can imagine that. Yeah. And hats off to you and every other first responder out there. Thank you, because you are first line of defense, if you want to call it that, against this pandemic that we're facing.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I like the Bruce Lee that you have in the background. That's really cool. What's going on with that?
Well, Bruce Lee is one of my heroes.
Nice.
He was electric on screen.
Absolutely.
I remember seeing him first when I was about 4 years old. I saw Enter the Dragon at like a third-run movie theater in North Philly.
Nice.
And it absolutely captivated me. So I was a fan from then on, and just reading about him and his life and all, he was always about striving for the best, and not necessarily martial arts, but whatever endeavor that your life was involved in, and just truly one of the greats. He's probably one of a kind in a century or a millennium. I don't think we'll see anybody like Bruce Lee in our lifetime.
Right. No, I agree. It was very inspiring, and I could see how he inspired you with your acting. So speaking of acting, what recent projects tell us about some recent projects that you were a part of? Well, given the situation right now, it's kind of all dead. Right.
Except for a couple of future projects I've been doing like these virtual meetings with. Doing some table reads, but I was kind of on fire last year.
I know.
I actually had the privilege of being in a first-run movie called 21 Bridges.
Nice.
Which was released towards the end of last year. I can't remember the date.
It was in fall. It was in October.
It was an incredible experience.
That's awesome. How was it working with all the big name actors out there?
Yes.
Chadwick and all the other guys.
Yeah. Well, they were all there.
Right.
All the principals, Chadwick Boseman, of course, J.K. Rollins, Keith Davis, they were all there. It's weird, it's bizarre. It's like they're your heroes. You see them on the big screen, and then when you see them in person,
right?
It's like, well, they're kind of just normal people, I mean, they're not these gods that I saw on screen. They're kind of cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
For the most part. Chadwick Boseman's a little nice guy, don't get me wrong. A little bit shy, a little standoffish, but he was very polite.
That's cool.
To the cast.
Now you had a shootout scene, didn't you?
I did.
That was really neat.
One of my bucket list stuff.
Oh, no way! That's awesome. That was really cool. I always wanted to be in a classic Hollywood shootout. I finally had the opportunity to do that, and I even did my own stunts, man. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Incredible experience. I mean, I'm so grateful that I was allowed to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Now, a quick side note with me and Danny. Me and Danny met about 5-6 years ago at a table read, and it was just like an instant, bromance type of thing. And
Yes.
it was on a project. We were cautiously optimistic, and we could laugh about it because the silver lining is we became best friends out of it.
Correct.
So there was this other project that you were on. It was a little bit farther back, called Law of Perdition. And I fell in love with your character. That,
Yes.
it reminds us of another show we won't mention, but it was really, really cool. Your character, you portrayed it differently than what the main character's other show is, or was, which was an awesome show. And we can say it doesn't matter. You weren't trying to copy it, but you were amazing in it.
Absolutely.
You were amazing in it. Tell us real quick what inspired you to be that type of character.
Well, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. When I first tried to audition for it, I thought I was completely wrong for the role. I'm like, I'll never be able to pull this off. The role was a high school teacher by day, drug dealer by night. I thought it was completely wrong. But after I thought about it a little bit more, I'm like, well, you know what? What motivates this guy? And what I think I tapped into was the fact that he felt unfulfilled.
Right.
He felt like he had not reached into his full potential. So to do that, he went to sell drugs on the dark side. I mean, as bad as that sounds, it's probably what motivated this character more than anything.
Right.
So he wanted to be something more than what he was in real life. So I tried to tap into that. I don't know if I pulled it off.
Yes, you did.
But,
yes, you did. You were amazing in that. You were amazing in that. So we're talking about with what's going on in today's world, and you have first look at it because we're all in the house while you have to be out there. And our category today for our go-to song and hook is hope. What is your go-to song or hook or lyrics that you find hope in? And was it off of an experience, or is it just something that uplifts you because of the song itself, or you know what I mean? So share with us. What's your deal with your go-to song, and which one is it?
Right.
What is your go-to song for hope, by the way?
Okay. Well, let me just preface by saying I'm not a mainstream music fan.
Right.
I really don't listen to radio much. I usually stick to what I know, growing up through the years. But, however, I'm lucky that I have my son, Justin, who's about 24 now, who keeps up on all the new music that comes out. So he kind of hit me to this group, which is an underground group. They're not mainstream by any measure.
Right.
But there was something very special about them that I love. And the first song he introduced me to was a song called Summertime Clothes.
Okay.
The group is called Animal Collective.
Okay.
And for some insane reason, this song just tapped into my childhood. Like the time when I was the most freest and the most happy. I took the title to mean Summertime Clothes to mean that you were bare-chested, because that's, back in the day when I was 13, 14 years old, hanging out with my friends, we would just run around bare-chested.
Yep.
Shorts, sneakers,
Yep.
and that's the way it went. And this song just reminds me of those days, which were very carefree, very happy. We would just like run around our world, which was like a 4-block radius, but
right.
We would go to the junkyard per se, which was around the corner, and get enough parts together to make like a cool go-kart.
That's really cool.
So we would get 2x4s, no crates, old chopping cart wheels, and then we would create these go-karts that had like a steering and a braking system. It was very sophisticated, actually.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
We just enjoyed each other's company. We lived in the now, or at the moment. There was no past.
Right.
There was no future. It was just enjoying life.
That's really cool.
That moment. You know what I mean? So that's what that song reminds me of.
That's awesome.
As a matter of fact, one of the choruses in the song, now I'm not a big lyrics guy, I'm more of a melody guy. But
right.
one of the choruses of the song is, when the sun goes down, we'll go out again.
That's
when the
really
sun
cool.
goes down, we'll go out again. And it totally reminds me of those days. Because, of course, we were up at 9, we were out till, the street lights came on, you get home, get your ass home for dinner.
Yep.
But then I would beg my mom, let me go out for a little bit longer.
Right.
And then we would go out and just, go to the fire hydrant or do whatever till 9, 10 at night. And we were exhausted and just passed out in bed.
And like you, just like
the song reminds me of.
Yeah, and just like the song you said, when the sun goes down, we'll get up and do it again. Which I got it right here. Let's take a listen to it real quick.
All right, let's hear it.
I can see how that's a very uplifting song. That's really, really cool.
Beautiful tune, and
it is.
It really lifts my spirits during the dark times, especially now.
Yeah, especially now because you see everything firsthand than we do. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's a really cool tune. I'm glad you turned me on to that because it's uplifting me. You know what I mean? It's really it's different. You know what I mean? Because I've never
enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I'm all about originality. You know that, and I really like that. I'm going to start listening, see what else they have. So
a lot more where that came from.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to check them out. So what do you see as far as as far as this pandemic going and with your work and all that stuff? It's not just your police work because you're always going to have your police work, but with the arts in general. If you could briefly fill us in on that because you may have a more.
It's funny because people think that, but I really don't. We get as much information basically as the general public.
Oh wow. Okay.
God forbid if something came down where things got out of control and they got to bring the military in, I'm sure we would hear about that.
Oh wow.
But so far we have not heard anything like that. Dude, your guess is as good as mine. I'm just, I'm hoping that this thing reaches an apex at some point and starts coming back down. But the one thing I did notice is that many people are following the rules.
That's good.
A lot of people out there with gloves and masks.
That's really
maintaining
good.
Social distance, and that's all good. So I'm hoping, like everybody else, that this stuff kind of dies down, and with the warmer weather coming up, hopefully that put a damp on it, and we can get back to being normal.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see, man.
Yeah. Well,
but one thing I noticed is that a lot of people are definitely. It's not breaking down; it's coming together. Is what I noticed.
Oh, good. That's good. That's good news to hear from someone.
We're looking out for each other, and it's a coming together. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, but
right.
We're not breaking down and becoming selfish. We're breaking down and becoming for all of us.
That's really good to hear, especially from someone that actually sees it instead of hearing it, third or fourth hand. So that's really good stuff.
Gives me hope.
Yeah, there you go. Today's category, hope. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. We'll catch up soon as always. And there you have it, folks. Dr. Danny Plaza, awesome human being, really talented guy, and he just gave it to us. In real life, his little bit of his acting career and what his go-to song is for inspiration to lift him up in tough times is this. So that's pretty much wraps it up for our show. What I encourage all of you is to, after you listen to this podcast, there's a message button underneath. Hit that message button. Leave us your go-to song, hook, or lyric for Hope, and we'll air them on our next show. And until next time, thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Take care.